Know that some of you feel like you're doing every single thing right. You're tracking, you're eating clean, and you're even cutting your calories, and you're still not seeing the fat loss that you thought you would. And for some of you, this is the problem that we're going to talk about tonight. Because more often than not, the problem isn't that you're eating too much. Did you hear what I said? More often than not, the problem isn't that you're eating too much. How weird is that? You know, it can be that you're not eating enough. And believe it or not, ladies, I see this over and over and over and over again. And I think I see it so much because I tell the story of that. And I think because women relate, they come on and they're like, I feel like I need to lose body fat, but I really don't feel like I'm eating hardly anything. How many of you have felt like that? Like, why am I not losing weight? And feel like I'm hardly eating anything. Yeah. See, we were raised in this generation, and we talked about this last week, where they told us to eat less food, right? The less food you eat, the smaller body you have. Eat less food, you'll be smaller. Skip breakfast. Have salads for lunch. If you were an 80s baby, if you went to high school in the 80s, you were trying to lose weight by eating salads, skipping breakfast, having just a tiny dinner. But now, since we're over 40, our hormones have changed and things are different. And you guys know that old way of eat less and move more, that kind of crap just doesn't seem to work anymore. And in fact, it's really working against you. And that's why I didn't understand. I was eating less and less and working out more and more and more. But here's the thing, when you don't eat enough, your body sees that as a threat and it slows everything down. Your metabolism's down, your energy's down, your ability to build muscle is down. Your cortisol will rise. You sleep like crap. You start craving sugar. How many of you crave sugar? Ugh. We start snacking at night. I wanted to say schnacks. We have schnacks at night. Our workouts feel harder, and we just think it's all us. Like we just don't have the willpower. But really, our bodies are running on empty. No fuel means no fat loss, ladies. We cannot shrink our bodies by starving it into submission. We really can't. But that's what we want to do. You know, when we're younger, when we're in our 20s, we can cut back. I remember painting a bedroom one time on the weekend. I lost 5 pounds. Painting my bedroom on the weekend, I just lost 5 pounds. And I'm like, oh, losing weight, it's easy for me. I don't know why people have a problem with losing weight. Oh my gosh, until I hit like 45. And I just ate less and less and less. And my body was resisting that. Here's the thing that we don't realize. And I've told you this before, and I want you to hear it again, because some of you chronically undereat. To get some of you to eat 1,100, 1,200, 1,300, 1,400 calories is rough. You can't get it in. Allie, I'm full. I can't eat any more than that. I feel like I'm always eating. These are the things I hear from you ladies. And I felt the same way. Well, I'm not hungry. If you're not getting hungry, that should tell you something. If you're not getting hungry, that means your body is not signaling you. You know, I had a woman that told me, I'm on keto. I never get hungry. And she goes, I only have to eat once a day. And I thought, oh God. I said, that's a bad thing. And she said, well, why is that bad? That's great. It helps me stay small. Because she had great muscle loss. Her body wasn't telling her she's hungry, and I'm going to tell you why. When we cut our calories back so much to where we rarely get hungry, it's a problem because that means we are starving ourselves. Yeah, we might be eating, but I want you to hear me. You're eating too small of calories. And we should be thankful to the grace of God for making that hunger signal go away. Because in times of famine, when food is really limited, if we're ravenous hungry 24/7, that's an issue, right? So let's talk about that real quick. When there is little food, let's say we're not trying to diet, let's just say there's a famine, okay? And we have very little food. We have to survive on low calories. What our body does, it wants to live longer. So it can't burn the same amount of calories that it always burns. It has to burn less. It realizes that it has to burn less to survive longer. Our bodies are trying to outlive the famine. All right. And so what that looks like is slowing our metabolism down. And the way our body does that is that it will cannibalize muscle tissue, basically take our muscle and use it as fuel on purpose. Because when we have less muscle tissue, we burn less calories, right? And so when we're not eating enough food, our body says, hey, I've got to burn less calories. This is a famine here. I'm not getting enough fuel. And it consumes our muscle tissue, and we start burning less calories. And then our body wants to store as much fuel as it possibly can to survive longer. And so we get this skinny fat phenomenon. I'm not really big, but what is this? Especially around our waistline. What is this? And it has a little bit to do with our hormones, but it has even more to do with what we're eating and how many calories we're eating. Both go into effect. And today I'm not talking about women who eat too much. Today I'm talking about women who eat too little and how it works against your goals. We think, I'm going to eat a salad, I'm going to lose weight. And what happens after 40 is most times not that. It will hit you at some point. If you undereat all the time, it will hit you. And here's the thing. It's like we're in a famine. Our body consumes that muscle tissue, slows down how many calories we burn a day because it wants to live as long as it possibly can, starts to store as much fat as it possibly can manage because it doesn't know when it's going to get calories next. Now, this is a godsend when we're in a famine. It is the way that humans have survived for thousands and thousands and thousands of years. And we should thank God for that, right? Because it's protected us. It's allowed us to live longer. But when you're in the year 2025 and you live in the United States of America and there is no famine, but you think, I need to eat less to be smaller, and you just keep eating less, and it's chronically your day. You've been on a diet and low calories more than you have not. Or you just think, all I really need is one meal a day. I just need it one meal a day. I barely eat. I want to fast. Now listen to me. A lot of you come on here fasting. I need a 12-hour window to fast. I need an 18-hour window. I need to only eat within a 6-hour window or an 8-hour window. Ladies, that right there is going to cause you some issues. It is. Because most times when you're eating in a 6-hour, 8-hour window, guess what you're not getting enough of? You're not getting enough protein. And you're probably not getting enough calories. That becomes an issue. Because when your body starts consuming its muscle tissue, slows down your metabolism. It's not just about what your physique looks like at that point. Your body will start robbing your bones of nutrition. And you have a high risk, a very high risk of things like osteoporosis. And that should scare the living daylights out of us. Because on average, I can't remember what the percentage is. I need to look it up again. At one point, I knew the percentage. But if you break a hip over the age of 60, on average, a huge amount of women die in the first year after they break a hip. And if you don't have muscle and you have osteoporosis, you are in trouble if you fall over the age of 60. And you know what? Stabilizing yourself with that muscle, scientists are calling muscle the organ of longevity. Eventually, you're going to see where there's grip tests, and some doctors are already starting to go to that to see how much muscle mass that you have, how strong you are, because that lets them know how healthy you are, how long you're going to live. So we've got to eat enough calories, ladies. We've got to eat enough to support our muscle tissue. We've got to eat enough protein to build and hold on to that muscle tissue. We need enough fiber and enough carbs. Yes, I said enough carbs. Listen to me. To keep your hormones balanced and your cravings in check. That's another thing. We're deathly afraid of carbs, ladies. Marketing has scared the bejesus out of us, and we're afraid to eat carbs. Our bodies were made to run efficiently on carbs. Now, I am not talking about donuts and chocolate. I am talking about blackberries, raspberries, all these healthy, high fiber carbs. Our bodies were made to run on that efficiently. That is our bodies love that type of carb. I hope that the women here at Bod Babes who have some problems will listen to me about this, because this bothers me. We hear this low carb, low carb, low carb. Everybody's eating low carb. If you have thyroid issues and you are eating low carb, you are causing your thyroid to have more issues. You are not helping yourself, you are hurting yourself. Listen to me. Everyone wants to chronically go, I'm overweight, I got body fat to lose, I need to go low carb. If you have issues with your thyroid, you do not need to do that. You need to eat the right carbs. Okay, you've got to have carbs, or you're going to hurt your thyroid even worse. So I've told you ladies before how that the doctor said they wanted to put me on thyroid medicine. And I started eating right. And I didn't know why. I got tested again, and I didn't know why my thyroid was fine. Why was my thyroid fine? I used to eat very, very low carb, and I did it for years. On and off. Of course, I'd go on a diet, off a diet, but it was hurting my thyroid. And so when I began to eat healthy carbs, the good stuff again, personally for me, my thyroid healed. So I never did take those medicines. I was afraid to take them. And now my thyroid is just fine. So don't go skipping out on your carbs because you're afraid of them. Don't be afraid of them. Our bodies are made to live off of carbs. Now, we can live without them if we have to, yes. But you know what? Getting that fiber in and getting those carbs in, it's going to help your body if you're doing it right. And that's why we talk so much about carbs. And we did a couple weeks ago in a video. And if you want that video, let me know and I will get it to you. But it's so important that you understand how to eat those carbs, okay? And here's the thing, if you're eating 900, 1100 calories, sometimes 1300 calories, and wondering why you're still stuck, it's because your body has hit the brakes. You know, the first thing we want to do is just, I need to eat less calories. And I used to feel that way. And, uh, and now I'm like, God, we got to get our bodies used to more calories. So fat loss is not just about the deficit or less calories. It's about what you're feeding your body in that deficit. And that's what we need to talk about. That's why at Bod Babes, I don't just hand you a number and say, good luck. We build a plan. And a lot of times we think, God, Allie, this plan you've got me on, the scale's not moving, the scale's not moving, but yet your body is shrinking. And you're wondering, why isn't the scale moving, Allie? And that's where we get in this funk of where we want to keep dropping those calories again and again and again. And when you're over 40, your body at some point resists that. If you've been under eating, believe me, I understand that it's scary to eat more. When I started working out, I show you guys some of those pictures, and I'm going to actually, when I put this on the replay, I'm going to drop some of my pictures in here. And you guys, at 5'7", I was 5'9". Somewhere I shrunk, but Wade measured me not too long ago and said I was 5'7". I made him do it 3 times because I couldn't believe it. But I'm 5'7", and that's weird. And I weighed 121 pounds. And I was in the gym and I had lost all the weight and I looked awful. You guys have seen the pictures of me from the back with my butt has fallen off. And you've seen some of them with my stomach just all caved in and my ribs showing. And something in me said I was still fat. I couldn't see how thin I was. And do you guys know that I recently saw those pictures and it shocked me? I didn't know I looked like that, but yet those pictures were on my phone. And they've been on my phone all these years. And I didn't realize how bad I looked or how thin I looked and how much muscle loss I had. I had to eat more calories. And I was so afraid. And it took me 2 years to start raising my calories to 1,200 calories. And I was afraid to raise them above that. Today, I'm eating around 2,500 calories. How weird is that? Whoa. Never in my life would I ever think that I would eat 2,500 calories. Now, not everyone can eat 2,500 calories. And if I had jumped from that 1,200 where I finally set my calories to 2,500, I would be in trouble because I would have massive weight gain really quickly. But what we have to do is walk those calories up and listen to your body. And that's what I want to do with you. If you've been eating low calorie and you want to stay on that low calorie, here's the thing. So many of you are so afraid to let me raise those calories. But here's what you've got to do. We've got to raise them and we have to strength train. And I'm not talking about baby weights. You guys know I'm talking about really getting stronger. And as you build that muscle, you start burning more calories. The scale may not dive at all, but your body will transform in front of your eyes. Remember, I showed you guys those pictures of women at the same weight, and it would be one woman, she'd be this way. This one was 125 pounds, and she looked fat. She didn't look like 125 pounds. And then in the middle picture, she was 125 pounds, and she looked leaner. And it's the same lady. And on the right, she was 125 pounds and she was ripped. That's because she lost body fat and she gained muscle tissue. Now, if you weigh 200 pounds, you're going to get mad at me and say, Allie, I want to lose weight. And I understand. And I want you to lose weight. I want the scale to go down. But to do that, if we keep doing the same thing you've been doing, and expect a different result, that is the definition of crazy. Yet I did it for years. I can be a little crazy, and you guys know that. I did it for years. And some of you are coming on here and say, Allie, I can't raise my calories. I can't eat that much. I'm not hungry. I'm going to gain weight. And you might for a minute. But you got to let your body heal. And you got to let it realize, hey, it's okay. I'm able to take, I'm going to get more food. I don't have to hoard what I've got and save it for a rainy day. I can build some muscle. And then you get in the gym or wherever you're working out and you really push. And when you're a lady over the age of 40, that's hard. We want to think, well, I'm over 40 now. My workouts should be less intense. And ladies, you still got to push because it's harder to build muscle over the age of 40 than it is under the age of 40. It's much harder. So that means you're going to have to get in there and fight for it. Man, it's hard. It is hard. But staying where you were, where you are, that's hard too. And you're going to have to choose. And I understand it 100% about being afraid to raise those calories. The scale might go up for a minute, but it won't keep going up. And it's not going to go down for a minute. It just won't, most usually. That's my experience. It won't. If you're on the weight loss shot and you come on Bod Babes and you think this is going to be magical and I'm going to lose the rest of my weight because my weight stopped, I stopped losing weight on the weight loss shot, it's going to take a minute. It is. Your body has to heal and you'll lose inches. And I want you to be satisfied with that. And as women, that's hard to do. We don't want to be satisfied with that. And eventually your body will let go of weight, but you're going to have to give it a minute. And when you eat more food, you're going to have more energy. Your energy is going to go up. Your strength is going to go up. Your confidence is going to go up. Your body will start to trust you again. And the fat loss that you've been fighting for, ladies, it will show up. And it won't show up not because you're starving. It's going to show up because you're finally fueling your body to lose fat and keep it off. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to go back and look at your tracking. Are you consistently eating enough? Are you? Are you hitting your calories? And here's the thing. If you are in a calorie deficit, which most of you are, and you have been on the same calories for 6, 8 weeks, 8 weeks, 10 weeks, and you're not making coaching calls, girl, your calories don't stay there forever. We've got to move them around. Because if you keep them there, your body's going to acclimate. You've got to make your coaching calls. And when I look at that call calendar and I don't see it full, knowing how many clients we got, I'm preaching to you. Listen to me. Make your coaching calls. They're important. And if your calories haven't moved for 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks, I don't care if it's me or somebody else on the phone, you go, hey, Allie, just wanted to let you know, maybe you missed it, but my calories have been the same for like 8 weeks, 10 weeks, 12 weeks. Do you think we need to change them? Yes, we need to change them. We do for a while. Okay. And so we've got to talk about that. So that is one reason why, ladies, that you have coaching calls. Okay. Everything doesn't stay the same. Are you hitting your protein? I want you to look at your tracking. Are you hitting your calories? Are you hitting your protein? If not, we need to fix that now because you don't need less food. You need to do it right. And that's exactly what we're going to do as Bod Babes. We're going to win at this. It's scary sometimes, but we're going to win at this. We cannot continue to eat very little food and expect our bodies to pull out enough energy to build muscle out of what? Out of what? When we're just eating enough food for our organs to function and hitting our basal metabolic rate, Basal metabolic rate means you're getting enough calories just for your organs to function without you doing any activity whatsoever. And some of you were there when you came on at Bod Babes and you want to stay there or go less. And we cannot do that. You know, I had a client that came off that Optavia program and he was eating 500 calories a day. He was bike riding 25 miles. I kid you not, on Saturdays and Sundays on the weekends. And he said, I just can't lose weight. And I took his calories up 900 to 900 calories. And he freaked out at 900 calories. I've lost 100 pounds, Allie. I cannot lose weight anymore. I'm going to have to do something different. I said, exactly. You're going to have to take the calories up. He said, I can't do that or I'm going to gain weight. You know, he left the program. He left. I can't, and I pray to God that he's doing okay. I need to remember his name and check on him because I hope that he turned it around. But we're that afraid of turning it around. And we've got to, ladies, our bodies, just like they acclimate to those low calories, your body will acclimate to those high calories. Just like I told you earlier, if I'm eating 2,500 calories right now and I'm not gaining weight, my body has acclimated to that. And I had to walk it up. Okay. And I had to build muscle. So here's what I want you to do. Instead of eating less, here's what I want you to do. I want you to eat 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking. This is important. Okay. 30 grams of protein within 30 minutes of waking. If that means that you're getting a protein shake, which you know I don't believe in protein shakes too much, right? Because they're very highly processed. But if that means that's all you can do, then do it. Because this is going to kickstart your metabolism and it's going to reduce your cravings for later. And it really signals your body that you're not in famine mode anymore. Okay. And that's what I want you to start doing. So make that happen. An example of this, you could have 3 eggs, half a cup of egg whites, and a slice of Ezekiel toast. Or maybe you have a protein shake with a scoop of whey and some some almond milk and some berries. Or it could be a Greek yogurt plus some collagen and some chia seeds. All right, something like that. Get your fiber in there. It's really important. And, you know, did you know the top profession here at Bod Babes is nursing? We have more nurses than we have anybody else. And I will tell you that as nurses and teachers also, we have a lot of teachers. We have a lot of company owners here. But the thing I hear all the time is, I don't have time to eat. As nurses, they work long shifts. I've had ER staff here. I've had women who worked at Life Flight on the helicopter. Gosh, all kinds of doctors here. And here's the thing, we've got to be prepared. Have a back pocket meal. Something you can grab fast. No excuses. I don't care if you're a nurse, a CEO, a teacher, a mom. It's your emergency meal. Have a back pocket meal. That could be a scoop of protein in a bag in your purse. With some water, you'll have a water and a banana with you, or a handful of those nuts. You can get those little packs of nuts, or those tuna packets, boiled eggs. You can stop sometimes even at the gas station. I don't want a gas station boiled egg, but you could. Or some baby carrots, stuff like that. Fairlife Core Power and some jerky. Keep it in your car. Travel with it. Put it in your back pocket. Put it in your purse. You know, when we had babies, we always packed everything. I used to pack goldfish and carrots and all the stuff, bottles, and you got to pack everything up. And we'd never send our kid out without their snacks. And that's true. I mean, especially if you have a toddler. I was like, oh, I was packing so much stuff, cookies and all this stuff. And so we used to pack like that all the time because we wouldn't send our kid out without food. And if we'd go somewhere, oh my gosh, I'm going to have something to throw in that kid's mouth to keep it quiet, right? So if you do it for your kid, do it for yourself. You need a snack. Pack like you're packing for your toddler. Take something with you. Have a back pocket meal. All right? Even take a backpack. I mean, think of the the things that we did. I had two big old diaper bags at one time. My kids are 14, 15, almost 15 months apart. And I had two big diaper bags, strollers, bottles, all this stuff. And if I could do that for them, I could at least throw a protein bar in my back pocket. Come on now. You want to succeed, you got to prep. So prep two high protein snacks per day and carry them around with you. You could have a protein bar and a string cheese, or turkey roll-ups and an apple, edamame and a boiled egg. And eat before you're starving. That is another tip I wanted to give you guys. Busy women, we wait too long and then we binge and make bad calls. Eat before you're starving. And for me personally, the best thing I've ever done is set alarms until I got so used to those alarms and turning them off that I didn't pay attention to them anymore. But set alarms and listen to them. Fuel your body before it crashes. Even if those snacks are 1 to 200 calories of smart protein and some carbs, it's better than just pushing through. And if you miss a meal, I want you to listen to this. Don't make it worse by giving up your day of protein. Focus on getting your protein in, even if you don't get your calories in. It's really important. You need to hit your protein because it preserves your muscle tissue and it keeps your metabolism running. So hit your protein every single day. It's a non-negotiable, ladies. And I love this saying, busy isn't a badge, it's a barrier. If you're too busy to eat, you're too busy to get results. And that's the truth. If you're too busy to eat, then you have the wrong priorities. I said this to a school teacher. Me and Wade talked to one of the gentlemen at our gym, young guy having health problems. And we told him the same thing. He said, yeah, I get up in the morning, don't have much time. I'll just have some toast. And he's having health problems. And Wade said, well, hold on a minute. If you're too busy to eat, you need to go to bed earlier or set your alarm earlier or maybe both. You have to make your health a priority. I just thought it was so good. And instead of getting mad at Wade, he really respected him and thanked him for that. So if you're too busy to eat, you're too busy to get results. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys real quick about is schedule your food just like meetings. You're not lazy, you're just not prepared. And that's what changes right here, right now. One more thing, double cook and freeze. If you're cooking, if you're already cooking, make a double portion and freeze that portion. Freeze one of the portions. So on your busiest days, because we know we're going to be busy, right? You still have the fuel. You don't have to have a need to start from scratch every single day. Make it easy on yourself to succeed. Find things, repeat meals, make more than one meal at a time, freeze some things, throw stuff in your back pocket, throw stuff in your purse. You know, Tina, her mom and dad were both having issues in the hospital. And she said, you know, I realized every time I would get called out to the hospital for emergency, I was eating bad all day long because I would be there sometimes morning till night. And she said, so I've got to do something different. I'm not planning, so therefore I'm planning to fail. And so what she did was she made herself little emergency bags. And she just put them in her pantry and she would just grab them when she goes. She said she put some in her purse in case she forgot to get them from her pantry. She made no reason that she would fail. She made every possible way for herself to succeed. And that's what I want you to do. You're important to me, ladies. I want to see you succeed.